Hello, am I visible to guys? I'm not really sure. Hello. Okay. So I think I am getting a delayed this, but good to know we are live. And hello everyone. Hello Ambuj. Thank you for the praise. It means a lot to us that there are people who come every week and prepare with Kraku. So thank you so much. Priyanshi, thank you for clearing audio visual. All good. Thank you so much. Nishta, yes, thank you. And thank you to all those who have actually come today. I would I would urge you to please like the stream and share the stream with whoever is preparing for CAT. It helps us a lot in terms of getting and reaching students, and that actually motivates us to hold many more of these streams. So please like the stream, please share the stream with any friends of yours who are actually working for who are preparing for CAT. Please share the stream with them, please like the stream as such. Hi Nikhil, I hope that since this is your first session, I hope that I'm able to help you and get started with your preparation. And those who are returning, good to see all of you guys over here. Nalin, good evening to you too, and we'll be starting soon. And I hope that this will help you if in case any games and tournaments set comes in CAT, you'll be able to solve it. So a good evening to all of you, and please like the stream, please share the stream. Thank you, Priyanshi. I know that it makes such a positive impact to a lot of students who are preparing for CAT, but it's really good to hear from so many of you. So thank you guys who are joining us. Please like the stream. I have put an ambitious target of 200 likes because we want to reach more students as CAT is getting closer. If you guys have, I hope all of you guys have filled your form and have started preparing for CAT in full earnest. Now is the time when you should be taking mocks regularly, analyzing mocks, making sure that all your concept coverage is done, and then just practicing every single day. So good to see all of you guys, and I hope that everybody who is joining us after this today's stream, you will have at least some confidence if you see a games and tournaments question. So those guys who are on YouTube and not on the stream on the site, please head over to kraku.in/live. The sets will be posted on kraku.in/live. That is where the test will come. So the test will consist of two sets, two games and tournament set. The first one is an easy set, so I'm giving you less time for that. I think I'm giving around 11 minutes for that. The first set is of 4 questions and it's an easier set, so I'm just giving you 11 minutes for that. But don't worry, you can solve it in 11 minutes, and in actual CAT you should try to solve it, a question or a set like that, in 11 minutes. The second set is slightly harder and I'm giving you 14 minutes for that. So in both cases, basically you have to remember that in either case you should try to solve it with as little time as possible, and I'll be giving you basic clues of how to start as such. So I fully hope that you are able to solve the particular set. Even if you're not able to solve the set, please keep trying to solve it and submit your answers, because essentially you have to check your ability to solve at every point of time in your preparation. So in this today's set, we are going to have a check of are you able to solve games and tournaments question? If not, where are you going wrong? How can we do, what can we do to improve and move forward? So that is the I hope at the end of this, any games and tournaments question that comes about like multi-stage tournaments, you will be fairly confident about solving it. In today's session, I will be solving only the multi-stage tournaments kind of question, where basically you have to identify the split of scores as such. that is a specific type of games and tournaments which is more likely to come, which is why I'm holding the stream on it. The second type, which is a knockout tournament, is less likely to come because there are fewer variations that you can actually set in a knockout tournament kind of a set. But I like to take that also as a separate stream later on. But in this particular stream, I'm going to focus on the multi-stage tournament type questions, where basically you have playoffs between different teams in a league format. That kind of set is easier to set firstly, and secondly it is more likely to come because there can be more variation in a set like that. So that's the only reason why we are focusing first on that. So good to see 80 people there. Aritro is saying thank you so much that you like the session, and to all the students who are benefiting from Kraku, please like the stream, please share the stream. If you share it with anybody who is preparing for CAT, it would help us hold more of these sessions. So please like the stream. I have set a very ambitious target of 200 likes today. So I hope I can hit that target. We have changed the slot today, so we have started at 7:45 instead of the usual 9:30. And the reason why is I wanted more people to firstly join in at 7:30 and people to be more mentally used to solving at around 10 o'clock mark. Many of the students are not able to solve because they are exhausted. So I hope that I get a better rate when it comes to how many people are able to solve in today's particular class. So good to see all of you guys over here. Okay, when will the test start, Sumit? I will be giving you a short explanation of how to tackle it, and I'll be giving the first set exactly at 8 o'clock. Okay, so don't know further than that. Okay. Hi Malay, I'm falling behind in VRC. See Malay, you need to have more than anything else focus on reading comprehension at this point of time. Essentially just keep practicing every day, practice 2-3 VRCs if possible. Keep reading, do active reading, keep solving sets, keep practicing. That is the only thing you have to really focus on building when it comes to VRC. If your RC is good, your PJs, OOC, para-summary, everything will improve. There are specific things that you need to keep in mind about the VA part, but much of it also rests on RC. So focus on RC, keep solving, and you will get better. Okay, so where to enter answer? Gaurav, go to kraku.in/live. Okay, I'll be giving the test in exactly 9 minutes. So please open kraku.in/live. I see more people on YouTube than on the site. So please go to kraku.in/live. What you will see when you go to kraku.in/live is you will see that there is a YouTube window and nothing. There are just ads below that. But don't worry, essentially once I post the first question, this just below the YouTube window, your first set will come. The first question will come. And in there also you will get a button called view instructions where the entire instructions will be visible. So if you, to solve, firstly I would say go get your one pencil and paper and also open kraku.in/live and keep it open. The first test, the first set will go live at exactly 8 o'clock. So please be ready. Okay. Aryav is saying I'm not able to do good in quant. Day by day my score is getting poorer. See, basically if you are still attempting, that's one good thing. If you are giving tests, that's a good thing. Now the key is basically you have to go back and analyze why you got a particular question wrong. When you see that, okay, I didn't do particularly well in this particular test, you have to say that, okay, I got this question wrong. What concept did I not know? What solution, what mistake did I make in this particular this? If you didn't know a particular concept, learn that concept. If you didn't know a shortcut or a way of solving, learn the method of solving. And you should make sure that every question that you get wrong acts as a lesson so that you get that is basically filling up the gaps or holes in your preparation, so that as you go on, there are fewer and fewer things that you don't know. Okay, so let's get started. Firstly, I like to begin by giving you a brief idea of how to actually solve games and tournaments questions or sets. See, there are two ways in which you can solve the sets. First type of format is basically where you have to figure out who won against whom. So you have a league format, you have a set of players, and in the league format you have to essentially guess what is the result of each test as such, or each competition as such. See, remember, whenever you are representing information in any DILR set, you have to figure out what is the input and what is the required output. In most of the games and tournaments league kind of question, league test, league type of sets, The required output is understanding who won against whom, or what was the result for each of the games that was played. Now it can either be to that granularity, if you have like say A, B, C, D, E teams, then you will have either require the result that okay, A and E, A won, B and C, B won, something like that. Or you can just, you might just require a basic table summarizing how many points each got. Now if it is just a basic table summarizing how many points each got, it becomes like table with missing values. So always remember, even when you have a games and tournaments question, the basic idea of table with missing values still come into play, because your sum of points should be equal to the column total of sum of points should be equal to the maximum number of points that are possible. So suppose there are 6 teams, okay, and each winner gets 1 point, each loser gets no points. If you like say tally up the points, what would be the column total of the points? See, if there are 6 teams, there will be how much? 62 matches. 62 matches. Once you have 62 matches, there will be 62 points. So that is 15 points. So the column total of points should be equal to 15. Now if you have a additional condition that okay, there are these many draws. Now draws impact the total number of points that are there. So always remember that whenever you just have to find summary level information, that okay, how many points did this person get, how many wins did this person get, how many losses did this person get. In that case, you have to solve it like a table with missing values. Find column totals, which is that particular team's or person's number of points. Find column totals to get the max total number of points possible. So in this case, if each win gets you 1 point, then there are 15 points possible, which means that this column should add up to 15. For example, if there's a sport, or if there's like an Olympic event, and all the medals, gold, bronze and silver, are won by 5 teams out of for like say aquatics event or whatever, if all gold, silver and bronze are won by either of the 5 teams, then each column total should be equal to the total number of events. So if there are 10 events, then the total of gold won by the 5 teams should equal 10. Same with silver, same with bronze. So always remember, if it is summary level data, treat it like a set about table with missing values. If it is, you have to find out at the level of granularity where the required result is between the match with A and E. These were the goals for, these were the goals against, and you have to figure out what is the actual score line. If that is the granularity required, then the format I generally follow is I say that okay, this is the first day, or this is the first match, day 1, match 1 or whatever. This is the second day, this is the second match. Then day 3, this is the third day, this is the third match. And in the first day, A and E played, then B and F played, and C and D played. So you have to figure out who played. First thing that you have to do in such kind of questions is figure out who played against whom. And then based on the number of goals you have for and against, you get a case or number of enumeration of possibilities for the score line. So for example, if I know that at the end of 3 days, A has not scored any goal. Okay, at the end of 3 days, A has not scored any goal. So I know for a fact that the score line, at least partial score line, will be 0 something. Similarly, if I know that the A or E has scored 12 goals and on no day has he scored more than 4 goals, then on each day he has scored 4 goals. So by using that, you can figure out what is the individual result as such. Also, you know that E, if he has played A on day 1, will not play A on day 1. Therefore, E can play B, F, C or D on the second day. Similarly, on day 3, he will play somebody else. Now, on other information will be given, okay, on day 4 and day 5, he plays C and D. Which means that if he plays C and D on day 4 and day 5, then on day 2 and day 3 in some order he has to play B and F. So that is basically how you have to back infer what are the pairings first, and once you figure out what are the pairings, you have to figure out what the score line is. And for score line, always focus on the minimum values and the maximum values. So what do I mean by minimum values and maximum values? Minimum values basically mean that suppose A has scored only 1 goal in the entire tournament and he has 1 win. If he has scored only 1 goal in the entire tournament and he has a win, it means that he must have won 1-0, because there is no other way he can actually win if he has scored only 1 goal. So when you see the least possible, focus on the least possible and try to identify how many cases exist. Focus on the max possible, that is for example somebody has scored 15 goals and you can't score more than 5 goals. focus at the upper end also and say that if you can't score more than 5 goals and somebody has scored 15 goals, that means they have scored 5 goals on each day. So focus on both ends. Now if both of those are done, what do? You then enumerate cases saying that okay, if B scored, say B plays F on day 1 and D on day 2, and together he scores 4 goals over these 2 days. So the options that you have are 0 something, 1 something, 2 something, 3 something and 4 something, and correspondingly the options over here will be 4 something, 3 something, 2 something, 1 something, 0 something. So you have 5 cases. Then you have to say okay, 0 case can't be done, 0 case can't be done, and you have to then eliminate the cases that are there. So part of this solving this set is also enumeration. So this is basically, you have to remember what you have to remember when it comes to sets, how to solve these league type sets. So now that you know how to solve these kind of sets, let's start with the first set. I will be posting it in exactly 1 minute. So everybody get ready. Whoever is joining us on YouTube, please go to kraku.in/live. Okay. And you will find the test there. In case you are not joining us live, you are seeing the recorded version. Don't worry, the test will be available even after the recording, even after it is no longer live. You can still go to kraku.in/live. You will see a top button about live sessions. You can take the test afterwards also. So please right now head over to kraku.in/live. I see 100 people over here, but only 82 people on kraku.in/live. So please head over to kraku.in/live. I'll be posting it pretty soon, and I hope everyone is ready. I'll be answering you the questions that you have asked in the interim. So I'll post the first question and then I'll answer the questions. Okay. So let's get started. Hope you guys are ready. So let's go. So this is your first set. Best of luck. Increase the font size. I have increased the font size, but I would still suggest that go to kraku.in/live, open kraku.in/live. In that you will see the test below the video window. There you will see the test. Click on view instructions. You will see all of these instructions in detail. Okay, so I hope everyone is going to kraku.in/live and has started solving. So let me try to answer some of the questions that you guys have. Also, please guys, like the stream, please share the stream. I see 101 people over here and only 90 likes. So please like the stream, please share the stream. Okay. Okay, Harshad, okay, you're saying simple words instead of trivial terminologies like seeded, etc. You're right, but seeded, saying seeded is actually fairly common usage when it comes to tournaments. But in an ideal scenario, if it actually comes in CAT, they will explain what is the seeding system. But I would suggest you know what is exactly the seeding system, because in case an examiner forgets to put it, it should not be the reason why you can't attempt that set. So you should be familiar with these just because you are preparing for CAT. But mostly if the paper set actually sets the gives a knockout tournament kind of set in CAT, they will mention what is seeding, how the seeding is done, what is top seed, what is bottom seed. They will explain all of that in the set also. Okay. In DLR, 2 out of 4, 3 out of 4 marks I got every time. How can I improve that, Hemant? Hemant, remember that in DILR, you have to, there are like a few steps that you have to follow when it comes to improving in DILR. For each different types of sets that you see in DILR, you should know that, okay, this is a particular type of set, this is an arrangement set, this is a games and tournament set. For each type of set that you come across, you should know how to represent information. Once you figure out how to represent information, you have to then figure out, okay, I know how to start, but where did I go wrong? So you have to then keep solving sets of that type. So if you want to get better at arrangements, solve like 50 sets of arrangements. If you want to get better at games and tournaments, solve 20-30 sets of games and tournaments. You have to keep solving to get better. First know how to represent information and then keep solving. That is the only way you can actually really get better at all of these type of sets. Okay, so ma'am, I take, okay. Ma'am, I take 14 minutes approx to solve VA and 10 minutes to solve each RC. By this minute, 6 minutes are left. Please suggest the right strategy for VARC. So you are taking 14 minutes to solve the VA section, all 8 questions, okay, and 10 minutes to solve each RC. So 40. But you are going above the this then by 14 minutes. You are going above 40 plus 14. You are going quite above the time limit as such. So there are no 6 minutes left. You don't get 60 minutes now. You get only 40 minutes in the new section. So Aman, you need to, you are not having the problem of extra time. You're going to have a problem of having too little time. So you need to solve the mocks in the new format firstly. And you need to start practicing more for the new format. Make sure that you take at least 10 mocks, proper mocks in the new format, plus another like few sectionals in the new format. Nalin is asking, are Krakwasi tougher in comparison to actual CAT level? No, the passage are exactly on par, same with the questions. What we realized in the last are like there is no set level when it comes to VARC. It depends or varies from paper setter to paper setter. In the last RC, we saw a lot of twisted questions. Basically, all of these are reasons except. All of these are not reasons except. So there was a lot of permutation combination going on, and so we actually adopted that change in our RCs as well when it came to recent mocks. We have also changed how we have a very strong focus on subjective questions which are at the very heart of every CAT. So every CAT, I may put a lot of effort to make sure that our mocks, our RCs or VARC sections are as close to the CAT as possible. In fact, I remember many times we feel that the topics that we have touched when it comes to RCs are very close to the actual RCs that are asked in CAT. When it comes to history, when it comes to science, we almost hit the like the target most of the time. So they are not tougher than CAT, they are exactly at CAT level. We put in a lot of effort to make sure they are of the same format, they are of the same type, and they are of the same type of questions also. So it's not harder. Okay. Also, Nikhil is asking, I am preparing for CAT 2022. Will this session help me? Yes, there is no time too early to start with DILR, especially because you have to solve, get a lot of practice to do well in CAT. What I would suggest is actually start preparing for CAT in a structured manner. Start solving one set DILR sets, one set every day, 5 quant questions every day, like the RC section every day. So you can start by preparing for daily target. So that gives you an idea of how your preparation is going. If you do that till 2022, you will have so much practice that you will easily ace CAT. So let's see how things are going. We have some time still left. So let's see. CAT day VRC comes first. Should I start with VA first, then attempt RC next, as there is no negative marks in VA section? I'm not sure whether it comes first. I think it depends on the slot or this. Most of the times I have actually felt that RCs came first, but they can be mixed as such. So again, it depends on what is your personal strength. I would suggest attempt the RCs first because the RC accuracy is more deterministic than VA accuracy. VA accuracy can vary widely, and I would actually suggest that do the RCs first. Because when you have like 2-3 minutes left, you can do VA far more quickly. You can do an entire VA set instead of an RC set. If you are like at the last end, when you have only 2-3 minutes left, you can easily pick the VA questions as such. But RCs you can't do at the last second. So because of that, I would actually suggest almost as a smarter thing to do would be to do the RCs first, to leave the VA for the last, because essentially what I do is I do RCs first, I do para summaries second, and OOC and parajumbles, I do parajumbles, and OOC I almost guess, because OOC and parajumble, because they are theta questions, there is no negative marking, and the accuracy there also is not my strongest point, especially once they have started taking disjointed sets. It can be a bit random at times, and you can quickly guess in most cases when it comes to parajumbles and OOC. So I generally leave it to the last minute to do both of those, and in case I don't get any time for OOC, I just put 1 out of 5 by just like a blind guess as such. So that is my strategy that I use based on the fact that my strengths are in RC and theta are like free attempt. So based on that, I always put all of those theta questions at the very end. So let's see who else has, how many people have attempted it. Okay, 4 have gotten correct, 11 have gotten wrong. So I hope most of you get it right, more of you get it right. So please keep an eye on the time as well. Okay, so those who are preparing for CAT or just started preparing for CAT, please do check out our 2 months batch, which is starting on Monday. It is an excellent structured manner in which you can prepare for CAT. We give every single day, we give you a list of tasks. It is a very exhaustive batch. Everything is done in detail. We make sure that you not only have full concept coverage but get adequate amount of practice. So we give you concepts, concept videos, concept tests, then revision videos, revision test. Make sure that in a week you cover the entire topic completely, and over weekends you have access to mocks and you have access to mocks and sectionals throughout, but over the weekend we schedule like topic tests and practice tests and mocks. So we make sure that you have adequate amount of conceptual learning as well as practice before the D-Day. So please do check out our 2 months course. It starts this Monday. I think the link is in the description, and we'll also put it on the chat over here. So please do check out our 2 months crash course. It starts this Monday. Okay. Okay, so Prajwal is asking that please make solution videos for sectional mocks. We will try to do that, but essentially we'll try as much as possible to answer or put up videos for those which are the most requested sections. Most of the explanations are fairly in detail, so they are self-explanatory. Still, I know that for many of the DLR sets, you require additional video solutions. So we'll try to put up video solutions for those most requested sets as such. Okay, Gaurav is saying till the end of the month I will complete almost LRDI, then what after that? So when you mean complete LRDI, what exactly is your target over here? The target should not be that you see one set of each type, but that you see many sets of each type. That is, you practice until you know, you have that confidence in yourself that any set comes from arrangement, any set comes from scheduling, games and tournaments, you will be able to solve. So if you have completed your conceptual part by end of this month, I would suggest focus on practice. Your practice should be structured. Okay, you should think that okay, every day I should solve a set, and the set choice should be dependent on what are your weak areas. Every week try to close off the weak areas, remove the weak areas and make them into your strengths. So strategically go about actually practicing. Practice a lot in LRDI. That is where a lot of practice helps. A lot of people have nerves on CAT day, and the only real treatment for nerves or being nervous on CAT day is to feel confident in the fact that you have given everything that you can. If you have practiced and if you have solved a lot of sets, you get a lot of strength, mental strength from that. So just keep practicing. Every single day say that you will solve a set. So just go about it that way. Okay. So let's see what is this. Okay, so we have the time is up, and I think still some people are submitting. So keep on submitting. I'll see if there are any more questions. I'll try to answer them. But 8 of you guys have gotten it right. 25 have gotten wrong. But don't be disheartened. This is a difficult set. It is not a very easy set, but it is something that you can easily do. For example, I know very confidently know that after I explained it, you will know for sure that this was not a difficult set at all. The actual start matters a whole lot in this particular set. If you get the start right, then you will be able to solve a set like this very easily. So remember, if this is a set that comes, I should remember how to represent the information, how to start solving the set, because once you know how to start solving the set, it becomes fairly like just going through with the rules again and again and solving it. It becomes very, very easy. So just remember, when I couldn't solve this particular set, now I know that this is how I represent information for this particular type of set, and anything of the similar type comes in the future, I should be able to solve. That should be your main takeaway from sets like this. Okay. Okay, so let's get started with the this. I think most of you have already solved. Okay. Okay, so Aman says, I meant 2 RCs, 10 minutes each and 14 for VA, total 34. I'm not able to solve another RC in the remaining time. I would suggest, Aman, then you solve at least 3 RCs and solve a few lesser of VA if needed, but 2 RCs is too low. That is leaving a lot to chance. So if you misunderstand a particular RC or misunderstand the tone of an RC, or in general have a different opinion than the paper setter on one particular RC, it can be disastrous. So always at least solve 3 RCs. Do not take the chance or do not take the risk of solving 2 RCs. You should solve 3 RCs even if you do lesser VA. Sacrifice on the VA a bit, but solve 3 RCs at least. Do not solve 2 RCs plus VA. That's a riskier strategy than 3 RCs, which is a safer strategy. So let's get started. Let us first start with the solving. So as I said, in this particular set, what matters most is how you represent the information. So let me show you how I represent information in this particular case. I draw a 2 into 2 table for this. So consider all the players. You have 8 players, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, sorry. 6, 7 and 8. Okay. So I'll get to the exact format after that, but I'll just show you that this is the table you have to draw and this is the key to actually solving the set. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and total row. Okay, so this is the key to solving the set. Let's take a look at the set first and I'll show you how to actually fill out this table. 8 players, Carlson, Aronian, Lagrave, Rajabov, Nakamura, Kramnik, Ivanchuk and Yifan play a chess tournament in which each person plays against another player exactly once. Further, it is known that no game ended in a tie and the number of matches won by each player is different. Now, if no game ended in a tie means that there were clear winners and losses. So each win you can count as 1 and each loss as 0, and each person won a different number of matches. So if each person won a different number of matches, how many matches would each person play? Since there are 8 players and each person plays another player, each person plays 7 matches. So what is the max score you can get? You can get max score of 7 and the min score you can get is 0 when you lose all your matches. So the range of possible matches or points that you can get is from 0 to 7. 0 being that you lose all matches, 7 meaning that you win all matches. And every person gets a different number of matches, right? Which means that these are 8 values and there are 8 players. So each player gets 1 out of 0 to 7. So somebody has 1-0 matches, one person has 1-0 matches, one person has won 1 match, one person has won 2 matches and so on till one person has won all the 7 matches. So that is the basic meaning of this, which means that each row total should be 1 out of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is one important thing that you have to remember. In this particular thing, you have to fill it like a table with missing values, and you know that each row total has to be a unique number between 0 and 7. Biggest clue for solving this. The second part is, you have now clues about who won against whom. So Aronian lost the matches against Ivanchuk and Yifan, Rajabov won matches against Carlson and Nakamura, Lagrave won the matches against Ivanchuk and Kramnik, Yifan lost the matches against Rajabov and Lagrave, Rajabov lost the matches against Lagrave and Kramnik, Ivanchuk won a higher number of matches than Rajabov but a lower number of matches than Kramnik. So person with the most number of wins is deemed the winner of the tournament and the person with the least number of wins is eliminated from the tournament. So we have all of these clues. So how do you actually encode this information? So first let us write the this, so CALR, that is Carlson, Aronian, Lagrave and Rajabov, and NKIY. Nakamura, Kramnik, Ivanchuk, Yifan. Over here also I'll write the same thing. Okay. CALR, NKIY. I'm sorry, while solving I won't be able to see the chat, but I'll come to the question later and try to solve the set as such. Okay, how many total number of matches are there? Ishan is asking. See, each person plays in another player exactly once, which means that every person plays 7 matches. It is 8C2, but instead of taking 8C2, you should essentially, because you have to find out the result as such. So you have to figure out that, okay, Carlsen played 7 other players. So you have to figure out how many players he played and whom did he win against. So essentially you have to look at it in a, instead of taking it in the 8C2 way, think of 7 matches per player, because you have to figure out from each player's perspective how many points they made. So the way I'm actually filling this is, since you can't play against yourself, this is an X. And this is basically, if I put a 1, it means that if I put a 1 in a row, it means that that person won a match. So if I put a 1 over here, it indicates that Carlsen won a match against Lagrave. So 1 indicates that Carlsen won against Lagrave, and Lagrave lost this particular match. So a row total over here would indicate the number of matches won. Why? Because that is basically a sum of all the matches that you have won. Each one indicates that you won against the particular opponent. So 1 over here indicates that Carlsen won against Lagrave. A 0 over here would indicate that Carlsen lost against Rajabov. Now since this is 8 to both players are represented, you should think of it as it is a symmetric about this particular axis. That is, a 1 over here would indicate that Carlsen won against Lagrave. So that means Lagrave lost against Carlsen. So 1 over here, symmetrically you should put a 0 on the other side of the line of symmetry. A 0 over here means that you should put a 1 over here across the line of symmetry. So that is the kind of table that you have to fill to figure out the total number of this as such. So over here, I'll just clean this up. Okay, so these are example, this is not what exactly happened or what the rules are given. I've just said that this is how you fill. So essentially, what do row totals over here mean? Row totals over here means that what number of matches has each player won. So this is the number of matches won by each player or the row head as such. Okay. And what does the column total mean? Column total would then indicate the number of matches that are being lost by the person. So this is the number of matches lost. So the column total is essentially the number of matches lost by a particular player, and the row total is the number of matches won by the player, because of the way we are essentially noting it down. So if I say if Carlsen wins against Lagrave, Lagrave gets a 1 over here. So in his count of number of matches lost, there will be 1 addition, and in number of matches won by Carlsen, there will be 1 addition. So that's a basic idea of how we actually get about this. Okay, so let's go about actually filling in the values that we have found out. Okay, so this is the basic format that I'm following. Okay, Aronian lost the matches against Ivanchuk and Yifan. So Ivanchuk, Aronian lost the matches against Ivanchuk, so 0 over here, in Yifan 0 over here. That means that he lost these 2 matches. Okay, now these correspondingly mean that Ivanchuk won against Aronian, Yifan won against Aronian. So there, this means that you should actually put 1 over here. For Ivanchuk won against Aronian, Yifan won against Aronian. Okay, so I've used up this rule. Rajabov won the matches against Carlsen and Nakamura. So Rajabov won against the matches against Carlsen, so 1, and Nakamura, so 1 over here. That means that Carlsen lost against Rajabov and Nakamura also lost against Rajabov. So this is 0. So that is basically how I'm going to fill the particular table. Okay, Lagrave won the matches against Ivanchuk and Kramnik. Lagrave L against Ivanchuk and Kramnik. So this is 1 and 1. He won the match. Won the matches against Ivanchuk and Kramnik. So Kramnik and Ivanchuk lost the matches against Lagrave. So you have 0 over here and 0 over here. Okay, so basically you have to put, if you put 1 in this particular row, then you have to put zeros in the column as such. If you put zeros in the column, you have to put ones in the zeros in the row, you have to put ones in the columns. Okay, so he won the matches against Ivanchuk and Kramnik. If you go on that way, Yifan lost the matches against Rajabov and Lagrave. So Yifan lost the matches against Rajabov and Lagrave. So basically this and this. So this means that Yifan lost the matches, so Rajabov here and Lagrave over here. So that is how you can fill the particular table. Rajabov lost the matches against Lagrave and Kramnik. Rajabov lost the matches against Lagrave. So this is Rajabov lost the matches against Lagrave and Kramnik. So 0. And yeah. So that would basically mean 1 over here and 1 over here. Okay. Now Ivanchuk won a higher number of matches than Rajabov, but a lower number of matches than Kramnik. So that is about the row total. So that basically means that this row total over here has to be greater than Rajabov but lower than Kramnik. So basically Rajabov is less than Ivanchuk is less than Kramnik. That is for the number of matches won as such. Now what do we know about the row totals that we had earlier? What we know about the row totals is that they should be some value between 0 and 7. So let us try to figure out who can be 0, who can be 7. We should always try to place the extremes first. Now who can be 7? For somebody to get 7 matches or win 7 matches, there should be not a single 0, because every match lost basically means that you can't get the perfect score. So Carlsen, can he get 7? No, because he has a 0 over here, which means that he has lost 1 match. Same with Aronian, who has 0 over here and here. Lagrave doesn't have a single 0, so he can be a 7. Rajabov has 2 zeros, so cannot be a 7. Nakamura also has a 0. Kramnik has a 0. Ivanchuk has a 0. And Yifan has 2 zeros. So other than Lagrave, everybody has at least 1 zeros in their row, which means that they have lost at least 1 match. So the only person who does not have a single 0 will have to be the one who won all matches, which means that Lagrave is the person who won all the matches. That is, he won all the matches that he played. So all of these are 1. So again, these all will be 0 correspondingly. So we have gotten more zeros that we have placed now. Now the same way that we place 7, let us try to figure out, can we place 6? Can we place 6? So for 6 you need to have at max 1 0. So if you have 2 zeros in your row, you can't be a 6. Carlsen has 2 zeros, cannot be a 6. Aronian has 3 zeros, cannot be a 6. Rajabov has 2 zeros, cannot be a 6. Nakamura has 2 zeros, cannot be a 6. Ivanchuk has 1 0, Kramnik has 1 0, and Yifan has 2 zeros. So with the one between Ivanchuk and Kramnik will be 6 and as such. But it has been given that Ivanchuk won lesser matches than Kramnik. So who will be 6? Kramnik will be 6. So Kramnik will be 6 because everybody else has at least lost 2 matches, which means that they cannot be 6, and Kramnik has won more matches than Ivanchuk, which means that Kramnik is 6. Now if he is 6, then that 1 0 represents the only loss which he had against Lagrave, which means that he must have won every other match as that is there. Okay, so all of these are 1, which means that all of the other values are now 0. So now we have filled in more values. Let's see who else can be the next value. So now we have to find who can be 5 as such. Okay, so for 5 you can't have more than 2 zeros. This guy Carlsen has 3 zeros, so he can't be 5. Aronian has 4 zeros, again can't be 5. Rajabov has 2 zeros, so can be 5. So this guy can be 5. Nakamura has 3 zeros, cannot be 5. Ivanchuk has 2 zeros, so can be 5. And Yifan has 3 zeros, so cannot be 5. So one of Ivanchuk or Rajabov has to be 5. Now what is given? Ivanchuk has greater number of matches than Rajabov. So who among these two will be 5? It will be Ivanchuk who will be 5. Now we have to consider who can be 4. Now Ivanchuk is 5, which means that he won all of the remaining matches. So if he won all the remaining matches, all of these other matches will have to be zeros. Now based on this, we will keep on trying to fill again and again and try to find who won the least number of matches and so on. Okay, so now we filled 7, 6, 5, let's see 4. So for 4 you need to have at most 3 zeros. This guy Carlsen has now 4 zeros, same with Aronian 4 zeros. With Rajabov you have 3 zeros. With Nakamura you have 4 zeros. With Yifan also you have 4 zeros. So the only person who could have 3 zeros essentially is Rajabov. Everybody has 4 zeros, at least 4 zeros as such. So that means that Rajabhav has won 4 matches. So you have, you put 1 over here and 0 over here. So that means Rajabhav is at 4. Now let us try to see, can we place 3 also? Can we place 3 in this particular way? So you have, for 3, how many zeros at max can you have? For if you have won only 3 matches, then you will have at max 4 zeros. So Carlsen could have won 3 matches because he has 4 zeros. So this guy is a possible 3. Aronian can't win 4 matches because 3 matches because he has 5 zeros, so he can't be a 3. Nakamura can be a 3, he has 4 zeros, and Yifan can also be a 3 because he has 4 zeros. So any one of these 3 can be 3 as such. The same way, let us consider who can be 2. For 2 also, any of these 3 can actually, any of these 4 can be 2. Who can be 1? Any of those can be 1 as such. Now who can be 0? Carlsen can be 0, Aronian can be 0, Nakamura can be 0, but not Yifan, because Yifan has a win over here. So Yifan can be either 1, 2 or 3. Carlsen can be 0, 1, 2 or 3, and Aronian can be 0, 1, 2 or 3, and Nakamura can also be 0, 1, 2 or 3. So we have the following configuration as far as this is concerned. Aronian actually cannot be 3. As I see, put 3 over here, it's not possible for him because he has 5 zeros. So Aronian can be 0, 1 or 2. Carlsen can be 0, 1 or 1, 2, 3. And Nakamura can be 0, 1, 2, 3. And Yifan can be 1, 2 or 3. So that is basically the configuration that we have till now. So do let me know if you have any other questions. I'll try to see if any chats came in about the questions as such. But this is the final table that we get when we try to solve. If you guys have any questions till now, please do let me know. But I think I hope all of you have been able to follow me till now. So Ritu is saying that the screen is not clear to me. I'm hoping you are able to see it. Also just increase the screen, the DPI as such. Is this solvable in 12 minutes? Yes, it is. If you just focus on this table without explaining, etc., you can actually do it in 6 to 8 minutes as such. The whole copying over, once you realize that it has a axis of symmetry, it should come fairly fast to you. So it is solvable in 12 minutes actually. So once you figure this out, once the table becomes familiar to it, it should not take you too much time to actually solve this particular set. Okay, so this is the final table that we get, and now that you have this table, you can actually solve all the questions related to it. So let me just check whether I have not missed any condition. So they have each one of them has a different value. All of this is fine. Ivanchuk won a higher number of matches than Rajabhav and lower number than Kramnik. So I have used that also up. So I have essentially used everything up. The person with the most number of wins is deemed the winner. So who is the winner? Lagrave is the winner. And the person with the least number of wins is eliminated from the tournament. I can't say who it is. It could be anyone of Carlsen, Aronian or Nakamura, but not Yifan. Okay, so let us take a look at the questions now. The result of how many matches cannot be determined. So the blanks are, this is 1 blank, 1, this is 2 blank, this is 3 blank, this is 4 blank, and this is 5 blank. So we have 5 blanks. The other ones below the axis of symmetry are essentially the copy of this. So there are essentially 5 matches for whom we don't know the result. So for how many matches can the result not be determined? The result can't be determined for 5 matches. Okay. Now let's take a look at the second question. How many matches did Rajabhav win? Rajabhav won 4 matches. The third question is, if Nakamura is a player who got eliminated from the tournament, then the number of matches won by Carlsen cannot be determined. Because if Nakamura got eliminated, then he got 0. So then Carlsen can be either 1, 2 or 3. So there is one option which is 1 or 2, but even that is not enough because he can be 3 also. So the right answer is option E, cannot be determined. And the last question is, which of the following statements is definitely false? Carlsen is so we have to find something which is definitely false. Carlsen is a player who was eliminated, could be true, he could be 0, so he'll get eliminated. Aronian is the player who got eliminated. Also Aronian can be 0, so it's not definitely false. Carlsen lost more games than Yifan, possible. Yifan is 1, 2, 3, so if Carlsen gets 0, Yifan gets 2, then that is true. Yifan is the player who got eliminated. Not possible. Yifan at least won one match, so he did not get eliminated. So option D is the right answer. Yifan lost more games than Aronian. Possible. If Aronian is at 2 and Yifan is at 1, then Aronian would have won more games than Yifan. So that is also possible. The only one that is not possible is that Yifan was the player who got eliminated. So the right answer in this case is option D. So this one, once you fill that table like this, it becomes very, very easy to solve. So always remember, in these kind of sets, knowing the representation makes a huge difference. And once you know the representation, you will just keep going at it till you get the final answer. Okay. Okay, so Purnendra says that I solved it in 16 minutes. I noticed my speed is slow. How can I improve my speed? See, Purnendra, basically for getting to that kind of high speed as such, you have to keep practicing. Again, I know that even my speed most of the times is slow. So if you are actually solving it accurately, that is fine, even if you take more than like 12 minutes. But try to target 12 minutes, because what happens is that if you at any point of time target 12 minutes, are conscious of it, you will at least know when to cut your losses and move ahead. Often in DILR, people spend 20 minutes per set, and that is where they really mess up. So if you are doing it at 16 minutes, that is fine, but try to bring it down slowly to 12 minutes by practice. If you solve and sit and practice for extended periods of time. So if you sit and practice for like 40 minutes, 50 minutes, then you can think faster and not get caught up in the moment as such. So do extended DILR practice, solve DILR sectionals, and just solve sets of different types. That's the only way. 16 minutes is kind of going close to the territory where you might end up only solving 2 sets, and that's a bit of a risk to take. Ideally, I would want all my students to have solved at least 3 sets on CAT day. So 16 minutes basically means that you won't be able to solve your third set completely. That's the only reason why I always push, like, okay, try to do it in 12 minutes, try to do it under 15 minutes, because I want all of you to solve at least 3 sets on CAT day. Also remember that when you are solving on CAT day, there's like this adrenaline that kicks in, so that would actually help you solve it faster also. Okay. So let's get, I'll be posting the next set in exactly 1 minute. So I hope that everyone goes over to the stream. Those who have joined and who have not seen the first set, please head over to kraku.in/live. The test is going on at kraku.in/live. I'll be posting the second set, which is a slightly harder set, in exactly 1 minute. So please go over there and please be ready with a pen and paper, and I'll be posting it in 1 minute. After posting, I'll just take a look at all the doubts that you have asked, and I'll try to solve all of them. Again, well done to those who got it right, Shivam and Arvind and Nisban. Well done, you guys did very well. Also, whoever tops this particular stream, we'll be sending out a t-shirt to you. So please do get in touch with support@kraku.in. and we'll be sending out a t-shirt to whoever tops this particular stream. Okay, so I hope to see you guys keep at it and solve the second set as well. Okay, so I'll be posting the next set soon, and please put in your doubts over here and I'll try to solve your doubts. Okay, so let's get the next set in. Okay, the next set is live. Please start practice, please start solving. And also remember, guys, please like the stream, please share the stream. I see only like 124 likes till now. Please like the stream, please share the stream with whoever is preparing for CAT. It would motivate us quite a bit to actually do more of these streams. So please share the stream, please like the stream. Also, if you are looking for a complete package when it comes to CAT preparation, please do check out our 2 months crash course. It starts this Monday. So the 2 months crash course is basically an all-encompassing product. Everything that we have, from our videos to mocks and sectionals to our study room, which has thousands of questions, everything is there in that particular crash course. We will be giving you a daily schedule saying that, okay, on this day, see these videos, practice these tests and solve these DILR, these sets, and on the weekend take this mock, this sectional. So we'll be also managing your schedule for you. So please do check out our 2 months crash course. Okay. So Anushka is asking which topic should be definitely covered in LR. I would suggest arrangements. Arrangements is something that comes every year. Those are also the easiest LR sets that come every year, and it is also the easiest one in which you can get proficiency based on practice. Basically, in some cases, no matter how many sets you solve, you might not get a whole lot of confidence. But arrangements is one of those sets that if you solve 5 sets, you get more confidence to solve the 6th set. So solve firstly a lot of sets of arrangements, different kinds of arrangements. See the videos on different kinds of arrangements. I've also done a lot of free streams on arrangements. So please see them and see different types of arrangements: circular arrangement, square arrangement, arrangement across levels, arrangement with attributes. So all of them, I have considered all the different types and I've said, okay, this is how you solve, this is how you solve. So be very, very good at that, because you can expect at least one set, and if you are lucky, maybe two. So that is something that is a definite must do when it comes to DLR section. So Nilabra is saying that how do I start revision of arithmetic algebra? Should I do level 2 question now? Still left with modern maths though. Firstly finish modern maths, then have complete concept coverage. What I would suggest is not level 2 or this, but rather have regular practice as such. So it should not be challenging, more challenging questions than CAT. It should be exactly at CAT level, but you should focus on basically making sure your accuracy is high even in the at CAT level questions, and your time taken to solve them keeps going lower and lower. 40 minutes and 26 questions is not easy, and many people are actually not able to solve the 26 questions in the new format as such. In the old format, 34 questions, 60 minutes was very doable. Now people are struggling with 40 minutes, 26 questions. So your focus should be, while maintaining accuracy, how can I inch up my attempt rate? So that way you just keep at the same level as CAT, but just keep practicing more and try to lower the time it takes for you to solve. That should be your next target, while keeping the accuracy up. Okay, full question is not visible. Shubham, please go to krakow.in/live. Please go to krakow.in/live. There you will find the entire question below and click on view instructions. All of this will be visible there. So please go to krakow.in/live. Here it is difficult, even on the video, the values are too small to be seen. So please go to krakow.in/live. If you're watching the recorded version of this video, still the session and the set will be available on live session. So you can take this test afterwards also. Just go to krakow.in/live. You will see the test, click on view instructions. You will see the full instructions as well as these tables in full clarity. Okay. Priyanshi, sorry, go to the table should be visible on the side. Once you see, okay, if you go to krakow.in/live, here is the video, here is the question, right? Here you will see the view instructions button. Click on view instructions, you will be able to see the instructions in detail then. Hi, Priyanshi and Debajyoti, I hope you are able to see it now on the website. Just let me know. This one is, it's difficult to read out the whole table also. So you will have to see it in the instructions on the actual site. So please make sure that you are on site and you click on view instructions. Okay, let us see how many people have been able to solve this particular set. Okay, some people have started solving, so I'm hopeful, and some of them have gotten the first question wrong. So best of luck. Just focus, guys, and make sure that you're able to solve this properly. Okay. Please, guys, like the stream. Please share the stream. I've had a very ambitious target of 200 likes, but I hope that at least by the end of the stream, I reach like 150 likes or so. So please like the stream. Please share the stream so that we get a lot of encouragement to actually hold more of these streams. I'd like to hold the streams more often as we go closer to CAT day, especially more revision streams also, so that anybody who is struggling to get a idea of what they know, what they don't know, can actually benefit from the revision stream. So that is something that I'm looking to do. But please like the stream, please share the stream. Depending on the audience we have, we will be essentially seeing how many people are able to see or are interested in these videos, and basically based on that we'll actually hold the streams in the future. So if you want more of these streams, please like the stream. Please let all the students, all of your friends who are preparing for CAT know about these streams, and we'll be holding more of them in the future. Okay. Thank you, Shivankar. I'm really glad I'm able to help you in VARC, and I hope we help you crack CAT. Thank you so much. Okay, any extra preparation other than CAT required formats as of now for IIFT, ZAT and NMAT only? IIFT, see, there are some minor changes in each of those exams. In terms of like NMAT has 5 questions, has a few other type of questions like vocabulary, grammar and sentence correction. So yes, you will need to do extra exam specific preparation for all of them. See the previous year's papers. All previous year's papers for all those 3 exams are on Krakwasi, so you'll be able to get a very good idea of what kind of questions come. See, NMAT and IIFT on the whole are slightly easier than CAT, so it would be easier for you to solve, but still there are new subjects, so you'll have to prepare for grammar, you'll have to prepare for vocabulary in both of those cases. For that, we have a proper course also for that, which is like a detailed course for DM, for everything that comes in that as such. So for that, if you are looking for a focus course on that, we do have that. Okay. Okay. So I hope we have what should we exactly practice for active reading. So Chandana, basically what you have to do is you have to go and either now, because you're closer to actual CAT day, I would suggest look more for RC sources or actual RC passages, and each passage for each paragraph, every time you read a paragraph, you should immediately note down the main point of that paragraph. Every time you read in any essay or article, you should immediately start thinking, okay, what is the main point of this particular paragraph? What is the author trying to say through this paragraph? Once you start doing that kind of critical thinking with everything you read, you will not be able to switch off that mode. Everything that you read, you will be actually be doing that for anything that you read, even when it is just an article or a news story, you will be also thinking, okay, what does the author mean to say by this particular thing? Why is he saying this? So when you start seeing that, once you start doing that without any external effort, that is when you improve in your RC section. So that is basically active reading. I would suggest now, instead of going for a wide variety of reading sources, now focus mostly on RC practice and do active reading for the actual RC passages. Okay, sorry, please show the third table. Okay, sorry. So it is easy actually. The entire third table is 2 played, each has played 2. Each has won 1 match, drawn 0 matches, and each has lost 1 match. The goals for the first 2 are 2 each, and for the K and L are 1 each. Goals for I and J are 2 each, and against K and L are 1 each. Points for all 4 of them are 3. Okay, so I hope that is clearer for you. Still, Malay, don't see the table over here. Okay, how do you solve? Okay. I found the table but could not solve the puzzle 100%. I hope you are referring to the previous puzzle. Still, just keep practicing. If you were able to get the right representation, that's a big step forward. From that to actual solving is a smaller step. but it requires persistence. You do it enough number of times, you know that you are on the right track and you will be able to reach the finish line. So if you are able to know how to represent the information, consider that you have done 40% of the work. The remaining 60% you have to just keep at it and make sure that each time you finish the particular set and mark the answers before going. So let us see how much time is left. Okay, there's still 2.5 minutes left, and 14 I've gotten it right, 33 I've gotten it wrong. Also in these kind of sets, okay guys, before you actually figure out what I have to find out, what I have to represent, you should also figure out what are the questions that are asked. That is also a big clue as to what level of granularity is required. Once you figure out, okay, this is the questions that are asked, this is the amount of information that is needed, it becomes easier for you to solve. So also take a look at what is exactly asked in the sets. Okay, that is also a clue of how you should solve as such. Okay. Okay, Arvind, I'm sorry. I know you were at the top and I think you got one question wrong. I'm sorry about that. I'll just try to see how. I know many people have requested this, but having those updated statistics essentially makes this more interactive. So that's why we have kept it in that way. But I'll try to make it have one more check where you click the answer and then submit instead of just clicking, so that if you click by mistake, it should not be taken as the answer. Okay. So let us see. Okay. Okay, Arvind got that one, but I think incorrect. But you still UV is at the top, and I'm sorry, Arvind. I know last time also you came just second, so and I think this time also it's a bit of a close one for you. So hopefully I see you in the next stream also, and that would be your lucky stream, third time lucky. I'm sorry about this, that you couldn't unselect, but still very well done to UV, Arvind and Aditya, who are at the top. Ayush, Sarthak, Dipanshu, Sai, all of you got very close. You guys did really well. These are difficult sets and you should be very proud of yourself. T-shirt or no t-shirt, this is a difficult set, and that itself is the that if you got it right, it's a pretty big thing. You guys are on the right track, just keep practicing. Okay. Let's see, we have the last like 20 seconds left. I'll still give you 1-2 more minutes to finish up, so do let me know if you have any questions till then. This one is easy. Good to know, Nalin. This one is easy, but that is because you have solved something of similar type earlier. It was harder if you had no previous games and tournaments question, especially of football. It would be harder for you. Because you are used to enumeration, or if you have solved 2 or 3 of these kind of sets, it becomes very easy because you know exactly what you have to do in that particular case. Okay, so otherwise it becomes easier in that case. I want to deselect, it's not happening, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'll try to see, but essentially because of the live feature of it, we have, and you have the updated statistics as well, where you see 14 got it right, this got it wrong. If you could just change the value, then you could just figure out from the statistics which answer is right. So that's why we have kept it that you can't deselect it. Okay, yeah, exactly. So if you do understand football and how the league table works, if you understand cricket and how the league format works, it will help in these kind of sets, definitely. So if you are somebody who is an avid football fan, then maybe go for the games and tournaments sets. It might actually help you. That knowledge, extra knowledge might actually help you guys. Okay, so yeah. So let's see. Okay, 17 got it right, 40 got it wrong, and very well done, everybody who got it right, even those who got it wrong. As I said, many people here are finding it easy because they have prior knowledge of this particular kind of sets. Once you have like experience of 2-3 sets like this, it actually becomes fairly easy. So let's see how we can solve this particular set. So let's see the set. There are 12 teams in a football tournament A to L, which are divided into 3 groups: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H and I, J, K, L. The teams in each group play one match against each team in that group. The match can end in a win, loss or a draw. For each win, the winning team gets 3 points, while for each drawn match, both teams get 1 point each. No point is avoided for the losing team. So you get 3 for a win, 1 for a draw, and no point for the losing team. At the end of the first round, the teams are ranked within each group in descending order of points scored by them in round 1. If 2 or more teams have scored equal points, the team with higher goal difference is ranked higher than the team with lower goal difference. So goal difference is goals for minus goals against. If 2 or more teams still tie for a rank, then the team that has scored more goals in a group match is ranked higher than the team that has scored lesser goals. The partially filled tables after each team has played 2 matches within their group are given below. So you have these tables that have been given, and they are partially this, that after 2 matches is given. So match 1, match 2, and you have these partially filled tables. Now what level of granularity is needed, what do I have to answer, depends on the questions asked. So let me see what are the questions asked. G will play its last match against which team? So I have to figure out the pairing for the next match. Then the second question is, if the match between A and C drew with a score of 3-3, then what should have been the score of match between B and D? So you need score level. So the granularity should be of actual result. Similarly, with the 7th question, if the match between this drew with a score of 3-3, then what is the score between match of A versus D? Again, you have to figure it out at a score level. And if I won the match against L and J drew their match against K, which of the following teams were at number 1 and number 2 positions respectively in the group? So basically, again, you have to figure out the actual this as such. This you have to actually figure out the positions as such. So let us take a look at how to figure out these values. So the first one is G played against its last match against which team? So we have to figure out that. So let us take a look at the set as such. What has been given? The partially filled table has been given. So we have to figure it out at a granularity of who won and who lost. So let us do that. So A, B, C, D played 2 matches, and they won 1 match. A won 1 match, drew 1 match. B won 1 match, drew 1 match. C won, drew 2 matches. And D lost 2 matches. So if you see that C drew 2 matches, it means that he drew 1 match with A and 1 match with B. That is the only way that you can have 2 draws with C, because you can't have 2 draws because nobody else essentially drew, and C can't draw with himself, he can't draw with D, so he has to draw with A and B. So the first result I can tell directly that what were of the 4 matches that were played, there were like 2 matches played by each team, right? So there were 4 matches played. Of those 4 matches, 2 matches were between A and C and B and C, which were draw. So A and C and B and C. So that is, I know that this is a draw. This is also a draw. Okay. And I will try to figure out what are the different combinations available for that draw. Now again, D played 2 matches and lost both matches. A and B also won 1 match each. Okay, so whoever D played against won the match. C didn't win any match, so that means that you have A and D and B and D, and in this case A won and in this case B won. I hope you guys are following with the this so far. Okay, so we have the results so far. Okay, now we have to figure out if G played his last match, so that is for the next table. So in this case, we also had in the second question, we had that if A and C drew 3-3, what was the what was the score of the other team, etc. So in this case, now we have to actually try to figure out from the goals for and the goals against, what was the score line as such. So let us try to figure out the score line based on the goals for and goals against. So we know that A and C and B and C were draws, and C had 3 goals for and 3 goals against. So that means that there are many combinations that are possible. A and C could be 3-3, it could be 2-2, it could be 1-1, it could be 0-0. Correspondingly, for these cases, B score would be, BC would be what? BC would be 0-0, this would be 1-1, this could be 2-2, this could be 3-3. So this could be the 4 possible cases in which A and C have a draw. So if that is the case, let us figure out in each of these 4 cases what would be the other score lines based on the number of goals scored as such. In the first case, if it is 3-3, then what would be the number of goals scored by A in the second match? So the second match is against D. A scored 5 goals in total. So if he scored 3 goals over here, then in this match he scored 2 goals. And B scored how many goals in total? 3 goals in total. If he scored 0 goals over here, he scored 3 goals over here. Now in this case, we know that D scored, had 5 goals against, and he scored 2 goals. Okay, if he scored 2 goals, that basically means that if he had 2-2 over here, essentially, it would have been a draw. So at max, he could have scored 1 goal over here. So it means that we can figure out that, okay, against, we also have how many goals were scored against A. So how many goals were scored against A? There were 3 goals scored against A. So all 3 of them were scored by C. So this would be 0, which means that in this case, both goals that D scored were against B. So let us see if whether it tallies up. So A, how many goals were scored by A? 5 goals were scored by A and 3 goals against. That is right, 5 and 3. B, it is 3 goals scored by B and 2 goals against tallies up. C, 3 goals scored and 3 goals against. D, 2 goals scored and 5 goals against. So this tallies up. So basically in this way, I can fill out the entire table for all 4 possibilities. So let me go ahead and do that. So how many goals did this guy A scored in total? So this 5, so this must be 3. B scored 3 goals in total, so this must be 2. How many goals did he get? He had 5, it was 3. So if it was 3, then it is 2 over here, so this must be 1. And against B, 2 goals were scored. Over here it is 1, so this must be 1. So this is basically this particular result in if it is 2-2. If it is 1-1, what is the case? See, do I need to really fill this table? I don't really need to fill this table, because if you see question 6 and question 7, it is only asking about this particular case when AC drew 3-3. So I don't need to figure out all of these to actually answer those 2 questions. So I'll just leave it at as like this. But this is basically how you solve these tables. So this is for the first group. For the second group, you can do the same thing, and in that case, you have to just basically find out the pairing. Okay, so in the first group, second group, let us try to figure out the pairing using the same method. So E played, E won 1 match, drew 1 match, F won 1 match, drew 1 match. Since E and F are the only ones who have drawn a match, EF has to be a draw. Okay, so in the second case, your matches and tables. So you have the first, this that you have is that the first thing that you realize is that EF is a draw. So EF is a draw. I'll put that in. Now let us see who else could have won or lost. So you have EF is a draw, and E won a match, F also won a match, G won a match and lost 1 match, and H lost 2 matches. Now see, G won a match, but E and F have not lost any matches. So against whom would G have won that match? He would have won against H. So that basically means that there would have been a match G and H which G won. Now essentially you have one match which we have explained away this win. We have explained away one of these 2 losses. We have explained these 2 draws. So we have 1 win by E, 1 win by F, and we have 1 loss by G and 1 loss by H, which is not explained. Which means that one of E or F played against G and E or F won. And one of F or E, the complement played against H, and then F or E won. That is basically G and H lost in both cases. Okay. So this is the final result as such. So now that we know this, let us try to figure out from the goals for and goals against what was the score line. Okay. So we know that E has 4 goals for, 2 goals against. F has 3 goals for, 2 goals against. G has 1 goal for and 2 goals against. And he won a match. So the only way he could have actually won the match if he scored only 1 goal is if he scored 1-0. So that means your GH match had to be 1-0. Again, H scored 0 goals. If he scored 0 goals, that I know that he has basically every score line that he has would have to be like dash and 0. So this is 0 and this also will have to be 0. Okay. Now over here, because he has 1 goal, and against G scored only 1 goal, which is there in that GH match. So that basically means that he is not going to score any goal in the next match. So even this has to be 0. He had 2 goals against. He had 2 goals against G. So that means these 2 goals came from the next match. So this has to be 2 over here. H has how many goals against? 1 came from G. So the remaining should have come from the other opponent. So the other opponent is how many goals against total? That is 2 goals against. So 1 came from G. So 1 came from here. So that basically means that whatever is this draw XX, EF, whoever played this one won 2-0, and whoever played this one won 1-0. So whoever has the more goals for would be the one who played against G, and whoever has one less goals for would be the one who played against H. So let us see goals for E and F. So goals for E had 4 goals and F had 3 goals, which basically means that E would have won against G because this is 2-0. So this is E over here and this is F over here. So this means that E won against G 2-0, F won against H 1-0. So since this is 1, that means that of the 3 goals scored by F, 1 was scored over here. So this is 2-2 over here. So I now figure out the entire score line as such. Now I know who exact pairings were also in this. So E played against G, G played against E, G played against H. So who should G play against in the next match? In the next match, it is asked G will play its last match with which team? So since he already played E, since he already played H, he should play against F. So the right answer is option B, F. Now let's take a look at the next question. The next question is, if the match again between A and C drew with a score of 3-3, then what should be the score of the match between B and D? So if it is 3-3, what should be the score of the match between B and D? It should be 3-2 in favor of B. So the right answer is option A. Similarly, let's take a look at the next 7th question. If the match between A and C drew with the score of 3-3, then what was the score of the match between A versus D? That would have been 2-0 in favor of A. So that is option A. So as you could see, once we had that granular level, where you knew each score line, it became easy to answer. From the goals for, from the goals against, we were able to figure out which were the pairings also. So this is basically what you have to do. In all of these cases, you have to consider what is the score line that could have been. So I have total is 5 goals for, so it can be 3, 2, 2, 3, and based on all the different cases, you have to figure out which is the right answer. In this case, for the second table, we could get only one possible score line. For the first table, we could get 4 possibilities. So that is basically how you should solve. Try to figure out a possibility. If none exists, no alternatives exist, then you get the actual configurations properly. Okay. Now let's take a look at the last question, which is I won their last match against L and J, drew their last match against K. Which of the teams were at number 1 and 2 positions in that? So I'll do the same this with I and J as such. So I know exactly the conditions over here. Each of them is at 3 points. So I won their last match against L. So I would get 3 more points. L would get 0 points. So this is 3 plus 3. L would get 0 points over here. And J drew their match against K. So both would get plus 1, plus 1. There is plus 1 points also, plus 1, plus 1. So this would be 6, 4, 4 and 0. So if this is 6, 4, 4 and 0, so who would be at the number 1 and 2 position? Number 1 is clearly I. For number 2 position, we'll have to figure out who had the more goals for. So if it was a tie between J and K, J would have more goals for and goals against. Similarly, goals for and goals against would be tied because both is 2-2. So goal difference would remain the same if they had a tie. But goals for was more for J. So J would be the next one. So the right answer would be I and J in that case. I would clearly be the topper. But between J and K, both had 4 points. Goal difference is also the same. But goals for J was higher. So the right answer would be I and J would be at the number 1 and 2 position in the group. So okay, this was slightly complicated to explain. But the point that you have to remember in this particular set, remember that whenever you are asked at a granularity of who won, who lost, you have to take those goals for and goals against and consider all the possibilities, like enumerate all the possibilities in the columns. Once you are able to split them, okay, this is the result, find what the pairings are, find what the results are based on like what the points are, and from that consider all the possibilities of the score line. From there you will be able to answer the questions. Not just here, in any kind of league format, whenever you are asked to ask specific question, what was the result, you have to actually split the goals for and goals against into actual results, that this ended 3-3, this ended 2-2. So this is basically how you go about solving sets of this type. Please do let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to answer 1-2 final questions before we log off. I hope you guys learned how to solve these kind of sets. These are not easy sets, so I hope you guys were able to solve it. And the studious guy says that this was easier than the first set. Again, it is easier for some people who are used to league formats. For those who are not used to league formats, this is a harder set. Okay. How to claim the gift? Please write a mail to support@kraku.in and we'll send you your t-shirt. And congratulations, Yui. Hard luck for Arvind and those guys who came so close. But Tushar and Arvind and Ayush and Sathak and Dipanshu and Sai, you guys came very close also. So, but always remember, you guys are progressing, and I'm seeing a lot of progress for those guys who are coming every week on week, like Sathak. Sathak is now coming on the table every single week. So very good to see most of you guys who are like very sincere do well in these tests also. So I'm really happy with the progress so far. I hope to see all of you guys next week also. Please do let me know if you have any question, and we'll be happy to help. Okay, those who found this set easy, if this is a strength of yours, make sure that any set of this type comes in actual CAT that you actually attempt. Okay. Okay, could you explain the goals for, goals against? Anagha. See, Anagha, basically what you have to do is that you have, for example, A scored goals for. So basically, A scored 4 goals and 3 goals were scored against him. So you have to split that into an actual result. So you say that, okay, A and C was a draw. So that means that, and C had only 3 goals for and 3 goals against. So you can't have 4-4 over here. The max score line of AC draw would be 3-3. Next would be 2-2, 1-1, 0-0 because it is a draw. Now if he scored 3-3 over here, if this is the result, and since A scored 5 goals, okay, you have 5 goals for, that means in the second match he must have scored 2 goals. Since he had 3 goals against, all 3 goals are over here, means that in the next match he had 0 goals against. So what I have done is 5-3 goals for and goals against, I have split up into 2 parts, 2 sets as such. 2 results. One result is 3-3, the second result is 2-0. This is one way to split. Another way to split would be 2-2 and 3-1. Okay, so basically you have to split the accumulated data in that table, goals for and goals against, into actual results, into actual score lines, and you will get multiple possibilities there. Then you have to use other clues and say, yeah, this is not possible, because there are other restricting conditions also into what values those particular splits can take. So using that information, you have to convert the goals for and goals against into actual score lines. Once you start doing that, the way I have done in this table, you can say that, okay, if this is the score line, then I get the other people's score line, and if this was the condition, then the other results would have been like this. So that is the basic funda that you have to follow throughout the set. So it has been a long session today, and it was good to have all of you guys over here, and I hope you guys benefited from this session. So thank you guys, and I hope to see you guys again. Thank you.